Hello, I'm Josh Bakan and welcome to this week's Varsity845 High School Football Show. Today I went over to Goshen practice and I spoke to quarterback Matt Wiersbicki. Wiersbicki is leading an offense and is a leader on a team that's been the surprise of Section 9 so far at 3-1. Here's Matt with more.
It definitely got me prepared for this year. My first game was definitely the big building because I played the whole entire game, and every week I feel more comfortable with the offense and what we're doing all together. So it's coming together each week, day by day. I worked hard in the off season this year. I feel like I'm throwing the ball a lot better from last year, and offensively, I think like with the experience we've been getting, and it's just been putting us in a better position each day to know what we're going up against.
In last Friday's victory for Valley Central, a 15-13 win over Minisink Valley, I gave a lot of credit to Valley Central's defense, but I believe kicker Brett Jennings also deserves some credit. Jennings went 3 for 3 in field goals, scoring 9 of Valley Central's points, 1 for 32, 1 for 22 yards, and lastly for 37 yards. So he scored Valley Central's points and really picked up the offense in a game where the Vikings offense wasn't necessarily as fluid as it usually is. So we've got to give him a lot of credit there for having yet another weapon that can win them games.
Will Montgomery here, set to talk about some of the big games coming up in Week 5. It'll be October this weekend. We're hitting the stretch run of the season, and we got a pretty big game in Class C coming up on Friday night. Josh, tell us what you think is going to happen in that one.
Yes, we got Liberty at Chester. I'll be covering that game, and this is probably the biggest game of the Section 9 Class C regular season. Both teams coming in undefeated and with 3-0 league records. Liberty has a very deep backfield, Raleigh Rand, Kevin Morgans, Roy Penn Constantino. It will be interesting to see how they hold up against a very ferocious defense, especially that front line led by Dan Whittakind for Chester, and just to see how that offensive line holds up. Now, on Chester's end, we've had very good offensive line play and a very impressive backfield. We've got Chris Battiato with 59 carries for 776 yards, Colin Marco 21 for 512 yards, and it will be interesting to see not only how they can do, but if Liberty tests out Jack Rose a little more. Jack hasn't had to pass much this season, 10 for 11, but still leading Chester's offense in very big victories. It looks like Chester's favored in this one, but it should be a competitive game for essentially the regular season title.
Another big game on Friday night to keep your eyes on will be Burke Catholic at O'Neill. That game starts at 6:30. We talked about rivalries in Section 9. There's Monroe, there's Newburgh, there's Cornwall, there's Wallkill, but one of the best is Burke and O'Neill. These teams will meet on Friday night. Burke Catholic started the season 0-2. They are coming off 2 straight wins, and O'Neill is 3-1. O'Neill will wrap up the season after this with games against Ellenville and Dover, which are the 2 teams that Burke Catholic has beat in the last 2 weeks. So this game is pretty big for Burke if they want to make up any ground in the division.
Now, kicking it to Saturday for a second, we have Cornwall at Goshen at 3 p.m. And we have 2 teams that are 3-1, 1-0 within Class A Division 1. And the big surprise here is Goshen at that record at this point. They won only 2 games last year and haven't finished above 500 in the last decade. Cornwall is obviously the favorite team in this case, but if Goshen puts up a fight, that means very big strides for the program. Look at Goshen's offensive line, especially against a really deep Cornwall defensive line especially. We'll see how the team holds up.
One more game to watch this weekend will be also on Friday night. Minisink Valley at Warwick. Both of these teams are coming off of losses last week. Minisink lost to Valley Central, as Josh mentioned before, 15-13. Warwick lost a non-division game at Monroe, 37-0. Both of these teams are looking to get back on track. And with Valley Central in the driver's seat in Division 2, this is a big game for both of these teams as they fight for playoff position. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Check out all the high school sports coverage on Varsity845.com.